Marry me again. You guys did not expect me to see me so soon, and yet I'm here. I wanted to briefly talk to you about something because our hoodoo practitioner Diana has announced the casting of the power of seven, and that gives me the opportunity to share with you the difference between a candle and a spell, so that I think many of you quite honestly ask me this a lot: the difference between a candle and a spell. Burning a candle does not mean casting a spell. It means you are casting a small wish, a one-time try. Kind of like what I told you yesterday, that, if you watched my previous video, Obsession Sex Spell, you may have noticed that I said, well, we burn 7 of these candles right here, just to give you a refresher of what we're talking about. We burned 7 of these candles right here, the red man and woman. And I said to you, well, you can, if you really feel like you're eager, you can burn 1, but we burned 7. So 7 candles is usually a spell. Okay? The power of 7, however, is not 7 candles. It's 7 candles times 7. So it's 7 spells, not 7 candles. I want to make that very clear, because we do have on offer on our site a power of 7 spell, which is done by our hoodoo practitioner Diana, and that is 7 spells for 9 weeks. It is cast for 9 weeks. So I want to make sure that you know very well the difference between a candle and a spell. You think it's elementary, but believe me, when I talk to people, I know it's not. Okay, so this is a candle, one candle. Sometimes it is called a vigil candle, and it can be, in this case, Santissima Muerte, or it can be a doom candle. It is one candle, one vigil candle. It is not a spell. It's a candle. You can dress this candle with, for example, the doom. You can add the oil. I usually like black art, but you can dress it with doom oil. You can dress it with crossing oil, but it's still not a spell. It's a candle. We don't do that. We do spells. So when you order a doom spell, we don't just burn this. We burn 7 of this. So 7 candles or 3 candles. We sometimes do 3, 5, 7, or 13. So that's a spell. When you burn more than 1 with chanting, oils, and demonic symbols, in our case, that becomes a spell. 1 is not a spell. So what do we have now? We have 1 candle that I told you yesterday how to use for obsession sex spell. We have the examples. I'm just talking about examples here. A doom candle that you guys can burn 1 in your own home, but we burn 7 at a time if you order from us. The Muerte candle, but there's others. There's Come to Me, there's Inflammatory Fights, there's Hot Foot candles. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to guide you through some of our products that, sorry for a little bit of, there's a little bit of, and there's me, yay. Some of our products that are actually, just to give you an idea of what I mean. For example, here we have the Return to Me spell. Somebody asked me about that just this morning. The Return to Me spell for $85. Okay, so the Return to Me spell is not just 1 candle. If we click on it, you will see that there's multiple candles, and there's 1 figure candle. That's a spell. So you have to be very careful when you talk about spells. what exactly it is that you're talking about. So now we have the power of 7, and the power of 7 is basically 7 times 7. So one spell, 7 candles times 7. So 9 weeks of casting with 7, and it's usually done if you really want to get rid of a person, or if you really want to break a marriage or break somebody up, if you really want someone to come to you and leave that person no choice, or if you want to have a lover where they come to me, or an Adam and Eve. We burn 7 consecutive spells of either come to me, Adam and Eve, hot foot, which actually works perfectly, because we did have clients that after 7 hot foots have had that person out of their lives and out of their man's life. So that actually happens. So the power of 7 is important because you have constant work for 7 weeks with 7 different spells of that one kind. There are some combinations that you can do with the power of 7. You can do maybe 3 inflammatory fights, 3 break apart, and 1 hot foot, for example. So they all have to be either love or negative. So they all have to be either cursing someone or loving someone. So you can do 3 come to me, 3 Adam and Eve, and 1 call me, for example, if you're looking to get someone. My recommendation, honestly, if your target is stubborn, or the couple that you want to break away has not broken away yet, and you're really working to get this couple to break, or this man to come to you, just use 1. So 1 Adam and Eve, 7 spells, 1 come to me, 7 spells, 1 break apart or 1 inflammatory fight, 7 spells, 1 hot foot if you really want that person out of your life and your man's life. So it is really, like, my recommendation is try not to mix so much. Just stick with your goal and stick with what you want out of these 7 consecutive spells, and go for it. So this explains to you the difference between a candle like these ones of different kinds, right, and a spell. Also, let me take advantage here of because yesterday I saw a couple of questions on YouTube. Guys, please, when I upload a video and I tell you this is one method of doing things and this is how it's done, if you want to be creative and you don't want to use a figure or candle and you just want to use a candle, that's not going to be this candle, that's not going to be this work, it's going to be a different work. There's nothing that I can tell you there. You are free to try whatever you want. I'm teaching you the way to do it. And so this is the way to do it in this method. Another question that I've seen is, well, in the Red Skull, can I use reconciliation oil? No, you cannot, because the Red Skull, just like Santissima Muerte, these are domination spells. So you don't use reconciliation oil on a domination spell. Much less a tranquility oil. I hope you meant in tranquil oil, which would be appropriate for domination. So again, you need to be very careful when you get a candle to have the oils that are associated with the candle. There are some options, as I said yesterday, but you cannot be too creative. You cannot put a reconciliation oil on a domination spell, because it's going to just pacify the target. The target is not going to respond to that. That's plain and simple. I hope this gives you some clarity, because I do see this a lot in the questioning. Spells and candles are 2 different things. And I'll talk to you soon. If you guys are ordering the Power of 7 of Diana, just talk to me afterwards and I'll be happy to answer any question you may have. Thank you. Bye.